Okay, rolling. This is a video to help anyone who's feeling depressed. Anyone who's feeling low or down. I feel like there are things that you can hear right now that will actually lift your mood, help you to not feel depressed and low and down. And primarily, you will realize that so many of us feel exactly the same way. Just a few days ago, I was sitting over there in this very office and I just felt super low. I felt like depressed and just bummed with life in general. I was sitting there and I was like, I suck. And everything sucks around me. And I'd allowed myself to get to that position because of a number of things. Number one, I actually was comparing my life to so many people on the internet, which I know I'm not the only one who does that, but I want to let you into my thought process. I was sitting there and I was full of like comparison. Started by watching a Forrest Frank video. Forrest Frank, the guy who's kind of blowing up, Christian, like amazing musical artist. So I was watching this guy showing his life story. And he shared of how when he was like in his first year of university, he bought a little musical device and he started making beats. And then basically he blew up and he's making really cool music. As I was sitting there, I didn't find myself like happy for him. I found myself envious and feeling like, well, what about me, God? Like, I saw myself in him when I was in first year varsity because I was doing the same thing. I was making beats and I was learning music and I was learning filmmaking, and I didn't blow up. My life didn't suddenly become, some like amazing music rock star guy. And I was like bummed in that moment. I was sad and I was looking at my life and thinking, here I am, like, sitting in this desk, editing like a corporate video, feeling sorry for myself. And I scrolled to the next video, and that was about some other guy on YouTube who had blown up. And I was watching this video. There are guys called Sticks from Australia. They're these guys who now make movies with Mr. Beast and Ryan Trahan, and they do all these cool YouTube videos. But I watched their journey from when they just started. And again, I saw myself in those guys. And instead of being grateful or just generally neutral, I was envious and lame. I looked at my life and I thought my life sucks in comparison to what I perceive these other people to be doing. And before I knew it, I was low. I was feeling so lame. And I closed my computer and I went home and I told my wife, I was like, I'm feeling so lame, I'm feeling so low. And Christine just looked at me and she said, stop your nonsense. You know better than this. Which is great because I actually do know better than that. But I needed to be reminded of the truth. And that's what I want to do with you. Maybe you're also feeling super down. I had all these thoughts going on in my mind about how much I suck and how I'm not really making much of a difference in life and how I've missed it, how I'm too old. Like if I'd been consistent with things like with YouTube 10 years ago, 20 years ago, my life would have looked so much better now and I'd be doing, touring and doing all these cool things.
Beautiful wife, what's
Here's my wife right now. I'll call her back just now in a second. I'm gonna go home and tell her about this video. So what I realized is that I was doing 3 things very wrong. And I want to tell you what those 3 things are so you don't have to make the same mistakes regularly. And the first one is to realize that life is not about me. Like if my life doesn't seem to be this grand, amazing thing where I'm traveling and I'm on all kinds of stages or doing big things, so what? Life isn't primarily about me. And somebody told me this a few days ago. I was walking with Ian, and Ian was like, I told him all my woes, and then at the end of it, Ian said to me, Howie, in the book of Job, when Job goes through all these woes and he gets to God and God finally responds, what does God say to Job? He doesn't actually answer his questions. He just says, Job, who are you? Where were you when I made the stars? Where were you when I created the entire universe? Essentially what God says to Job is that you're a nobody. You are a tiny speck of dust. You're a vapor in the wind, here today, gone tomorrow. And obviously God loves me. I get that. I know that he died on the cross, and I know that I'm actually special. But what I needed to hear in that moment was that life does not revolve around me. And essentially, I'm a nobody. I'm a little nobody, and that's okay. What that does is it totally liberates me of feeling like I have to be a somebody, and I've got to be doing great things, and I've got to be impacting like millions of people, and I've got to be like having this massive social media following and all this kind of stuff, which just adds a lot of pressure. And if it's the truth, it will set me free. So I heard that and I was like, it's kind of a little bit hard to hear, but actually it's exactly what I need to hear. So it's beautiful. I can just chill out and realize I'm a speck of dust in this universe. Obviously God loves me. He loves that speck of dust. And with him, I am a somebody. But I've got to put it in perspective. It's not about me. Second thing that I was doing wrong and that I realized what to change was my mind, my thoughts. Here's an amazing piece of wisdom that someone told me, Andrea Bester, shout out, Andrea Hunis now. She said, not every thought in my mind comes from me. There are spiritual beings that cruise around and impart little lies into our minds. The Bible speaks about this. It says, take every thought captive that enters into your mind and make it obedient to Christ. So what that means is there's thoughts that are not from God and not from me, but they're put there by the enemy, by the devil. And that's hectic because so much of my inner critique isn't from me. I mean, I'll sit here and I'll think like I'm a loser and I've done so many things wrong and I haven't made the right decisions lately. And then I stop and I'm like, wait a second, why do I feel like I'm so depressed? And I rewind and I start where the first thought that came into my mind of like, I'm a loser. If you go and look at that thought is not from me. That's not from you. It's not from God either. That thought is from the devil, from the enemy, or one of his little minions cruising around. And so I've had to realize that and stop and take that thought captive and be like, no man, that's not true. Cool, I might not be like the center of the universe, but actually I'm not a loser, not at all. I am actually an overcomer, I'm chosen, I'm loved, I am, the list goes on of all the blessings of God over our lives. So that was a big one. Stop going down this trajectory of thought processes when they're not my thoughts in the first place. And to start to identify what's mine and what's not mine, that is the challenge. That is the victory that I'm looking for right now. And I'm kind of like I'm not free from all of this. I'm sharing this as a testimony, as a video, because sometimes the best testimonies are those that are in process. And the last and third thing that I've started doing lately is just being more grateful for what I do have right now. I've got a lot to be thankful for, and so do you. Whoever you are, you have got something epic to be thankful for. So, this is my wife again, she's obviously got something to say. I want to say, practice being thankful, practice being grateful in and out. And you're going to find that your thoughts go from, I suck, to thank you for everything. Thank you for the fact that you can watch a video. Thank you for the fact that you have a device to watch a video on. Primarily, for me, thank you that I'm actually a child of God, that my name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And if you're a Christian, if you know Jesus, then your name also is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. If you don't know him yet, he wants to know you. So just turn to him and then bam, you got something brand new to say thank you for. And I'll leave you with like a little bonus, guys, of how not to remain depressed. And I'm not talking about like clinical diagnosed depression, but I'm talking about when you're feeling really down, really low, and really blue. There's actual physical, practical things that I'd stopped doing, which I've started doing again. And I need to continue doing those. Things like exercise, go for that run, go do like 10 push-ups, go for a walk, eat better. So I've got to try and cut out those pastries for me. I can feel it on my belly. Number 3, spend time refreshing my soul, whether that's spending time reading the Bible or going for a walk on the beach. Refresh that soul, listening to a beautiful song, whatever it is. And journaling, taking 5 minutes to actually get back to journaling. Those are the scaffolding around the life that can help you to not go back down and feel low again. So this is a little video for you watching this. You're not alone if you feel down. If this year has been a nasty year, AI and everyone's losing everyone's jobs and everything sucks. Actually, it doesn't all suck. When I start to feel like that, cool, you can realize you're not alone. I also feel like that. When you feel like a loser, don't let that thought process continue. You're not a loser. I want to tell you right now, you're actually a legend. And you might not be the center of the universe, but you weren't designed to be that either. You were designed to be sitting on God's lap, proverbially, maybe one day physically, knowing Him and getting on with this life, guys. Love people, find a good church, get involved, pour out your life, start being grateful, and go for a run. Cool. Let me actually phone my wife and see what's up. Thanks for watching. Hey, sorry, I was just filming a little quick video. I'm done now.
Alright, cool.
What's up?
Are you coming home, man? Can you get the chips?
Yeah, I'm gonna come home now, and then I'm gonna go look for the chips if they have the chips. What happens if they don't have the chips?
I'm gonna try again on Checkers. Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay,
That's
like
not good for now.
I'm gonna leave now. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, love you lots.
Bye.
Daddy, leave right now.
I'm gonna leave right now. Love you, boys.
It's down the stairs.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
And then go zooming away. Yeah.
Grateful.